August 6, 1945, a day that shattered the sky, and with it, humanity's innocence. As dawn broke over the Japanese city of Hiroshima, people went about their morning, unaware that in the next instant, their world would vanish. At exactly 8:15 a.m., a single bomb named Little Boy was dropped from an American B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay. What followed wasn't just an explosion, it was the birth of a new age, the atomic age, a blinding flash, a shockwave traveling faster than sound. And in seconds, a city of 350,000 turned into a wasteland of fire and silence. The bomb released energy equal to 15,000 tons of TNT. Buildings were vaporized, shadows burned into walls, and lives ended before they even knew what hit them. The temperature at ground zero, over 4,000 degrees Celsius, enough to melt steel and turn sand into glass. Hospitals, schools, homes, all gone. And those who survived the initial blast faced a new nightmare, one of radiation, severe burns, and unimaginable suffering. The survivors looked up to see a terrifying mushroom-shaped cloud blotting out the sun, a symbol of the destructive power humanity had just unlocked. This wasn't just another act of war, it was a fundamental shift in the nature of conflict itself. 3 days later, on August 9th, the nightmare repeated. A second bomb, nicknamed Fat Man, fell on the city of Nagasaki. The message was now brutally clear. The world possessed a weapon that could end civilization in seconds. The very concept of total war had reached its horrifying conclusion. So, why did it happen? By mid-1945, World War II had dragged on for 6 brutal years. Europe was in ruins, but the war in the Pacific raged on. Despite devastating losses, Imperial Japan refused to surrender unconditionally. The United States and its allies faced a grim choice: launch a full-scale invasion of the Japanese mainland, an operation projected to cost millions of lives on both sides, or unleash their new top-secret weapon. President Harry Truman, who had only recently learned of the Manhattan Project's existence, made the fateful decision. He believed the atomic bomb would force a swift end to the war, ultimately saving more lives than it would take. But it was a decision that came at a monumental cost, sparking an ethical debate that continues to this day. Was this act of military necessity, a tragic but unavoidable step to end a global conflict? Or was it an unforgivable act that crossed a line from which humanity could never return? The human cost was staggering. More than 140,000 people in Hiroshima and 70,000 in Nagasaki were killed by the end of 1945 alone. These were not just numbers in a history book. They were children, families, soldiers, and civilians. Many died instantly, vaporized in the initial blast. But for countless others, the end came slowly and painfully over the following weeks, months, and even years. They suffered from radiation poisoning, which caused horrific illnesses, cancers that developed later in life, and deep psychological trauma that would never fade. The survivors, known in Japan as the Hibakusha, or explosion-affected people, became living witnesses to humanity's darkest hour. Their stories, filled with loss and resilience, serve as a permanent reminder that behind every strategic decision and every technological advancement are names, faces, and dreams. Their testimony ensures that the world never forgets the true price of nuclear weapons. When the smoke finally cleared over Japan, the world reacted with a mixture of relief, awe, and chilling fear. The war was over, but something far more unsettling had begun. Humanity now possessed the power to destroy itself completely. This realization ushered in the Cold War, an era defined by geopolitical tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, fueled by a terrifying race for nuclear dominance. The bomb didn't just end one war, it started a new, silent one, a conflict filled with threats, espionage, and the constant shadow of mutually assured destruction. Nations across the globe rushed to develop their own atomic weapons, believing it was the only way to guarantee their security in this new, dangerous world. From that moment on, every international crisis, every border dispute, carried with it a terrifying new question: how far are we willing to go? Out of the ashes of Hiroshima and Nagasaki rose not just rebuilt cities, but profound and enduring lessons for all of humanity. The survivors, against all odds, rebuilt their lives and their communities, becoming powerful advocates of peace and nuclear disarmament. The world mourned, and many of the scientists who had worked on the bomb vowed to dedicate their lives to ensuring such weapons were never used again. The bomb changed everything: politics, warfare, ethics, and the very way we perceive our place in the universe. As we stand here today, looking back in the relative safety of the 21st century, one truth remains etched in the historical record: power without humanity is the formula for destruction, and peace, much like freedom, is a fragile treasure that must be vigilantly protected at all costs. Because on that August morning in 1945, the world as we knew it changed forever. Thank you for watching. If this story moved you, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the moments that shaped our world. Your support helps us continue to share these important histories.